Good afternoon and welcome to Imperial Corp Stadium for this much anticipated clash between the best of the best from Queensland and Victoria's NPL women's sides. Following the success of the 2023 Battle of the States event hosted at the home of the Matildas in Victoria, this afternoon we'll see the best players from across the NPL women once again represent their states as they go head to head this afternoon to compete for the Jones Millman Cup. I'm Amy Webster, bringing you this afternoon's coverage live and free for FQTV. It's my pleasure today to be joined by James Coughlin, the man that everyone should want on their trivia team when it comes to sports stats in particular, in the local pub quizzes. James, what can we expect from this afternoon's game?
Well, I'm glad you haven't set the bar too high for me, Amy. I'm expecting a bit of fun this afternoon. It was a tight-fought game last year down in Victoria, and it should be the same under sunny skies here in southeast Queensland.
Absolutely. So we've got Dave De Silva and Lachlan Long with the Queensland side facing off against Vince Battiato and Adam Samino. Heard that Vince lost sleep this week over the final squad selection. There's been a few changes since the 24-man training squad, so yeah, some interesting selections, but it's tough to pick, isn't it?
It certainly is. There's no shortage of quality across the two leagues, and you know, there have been a few changes to both of these sides, but we've still got a couple of pretty strong teams set to take to the pitch this afternoon. No shortage of A-League experience on both sides as well. I think we're going to have a fascinating battle between these two states who, let's be honest, have a pretty big rivalry when it comes to football because of the highway that does seem to exist between the two states as well. No shortage of Queenslanders down in Victoria, and I think a few Victorians have made their way up north as well.
Absolutely, and I think even just saying state versus state just adds another level altogether, doesn't it? It doesn't really matter what sport it is, if it's state v state. And here they come now. So we've got Queensland wearing the pride of maroon, of course, and Victoria coming out in their all blue kit this afternoon. Officials for this afternoon's clash, we have Taylor Schofield as the woman in the middle, assisted by Vicky Clark and Louise Merritt, and our fourth official, Taylor Brotherston.
No shortage of experience in the referees' kits either. Taylor Schofield, one of the most experienced refs in this competition as well. And there you see the handshake line taking place, as well as Steph Latham leading the Queenslanders, and the Victorians looking imposing as ever in their all-blue kit. But thankfully we've got clear blue skies for the moment. I was a little worried that we're going to have one of those spring thunderstorms rolling through, but
there's still time.
There is still time. It's a long evening.
Queensland.
And that's what we've got the men's game coming up after this as well. So busy evening, but should be a fascinating game, as we've got the team sheets coming up before too long as they're getting ready for their team photos.
Absolutely. So we just saw the skippers there. Steph Latham captaining the Queensland side. In between the sticks, Emma Gibbon, who's just recently, I think just today or just yesterday, announced as re-signing for the Raw for this season. Talitha Kramer in the number 8, number 9, Holly Clark, number 4, Stella Mazzoni, number 12, Hakana Kachenko, number 5, Jess Dillon, number 2, Chantel Maugery, number 19, Beck Horsey, number 6, Shiana Singh, number 14, Steph Latham, and 20, not shy of a few goals, Tegan Riding.
Yes, a late change to the graphic we just had up there. Tegan Riding, one of the many Eastern Suburbs players lining up. Meanwhile, here is the Victorian side, and I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit scared of the leading striker, Maya Markovsky, there in the 17 shirt.
Absolutely, and no, we're not short of experience in this side either. We've got Bethany Mason-Jones, who was the 24 NPL Keeper of the Year. Captain, as mentioned before, Emma Checker, Grace Taranto, Mabe Tanaka, Asuko Miyata, Emily Roach, Miri Nishimura, Tiffany Eliadis, Hayley Johnson, Keely Lockhart, and as you've just mentioned, star striker Maya Markovsky.
20 goals on the NPL season for Markovsky, but it wasn't actually enough for the Golden Boot. It was Hayley Johnson with 21 goals as well. So, just lazy 41 between those two players, and I think they'll be providing a handful for the Queensland defence here this afternoon.
Yeah, not too shabby. I'm definitely looking forward to the players to watch, Steph Latham and, like we've just mentioned, Maya Markovsky. Plenty of goals between them.
Well, Steph Latham, not too unfamiliar with scoring a goal here at Imperial Corps Stadium. She's played 3 years for Brisbane City and scored 80 goals for them in 73 matches. It is just ridiculous. And that's just in NPL action, mind you.
Yeah.
Not counting the cup competitions going on as well.
And not too shabby to say that she had a pretty significant ankle injury a few years back and was told that might not be playing to a high standard again. And here she has been the last couple of seasons, just proving everyone wrong.
If this isn't her playing at a high standard, I would love to know what is.
Runs her own podiatry business, so I won't make any comment about health professionals.
Your words, not mine.
And here we are, Queensland about to kick us off, and Tegan Riding and Steph Latham are going to get us underway here at Imperial Corps Stadium. As you've mentioned, seen plenty of football this ground throughout the last season. And the Mitre Festival of Football is well upon us. And it was Riding to kick us off and get us started. Victoria, of course, victorious in the 2023 clash. Won't be my last pun of the day, James, I promise you that.
I'm keeping a tally here on my notes.
Excellent.
So just get ready.
And that one is going to come to nothing as it runs through and allows Kramer, another one who's very familiar with this ground, Talitha Kramer. And a cracking tackle at the back there from Holly Clark, the 2023 Young Player of the Year nominee.
A bit of an early statement of intent from Victoria as well. Queensland went for the long diagonal ball, and Victoria just said, no, we're going down the other end and getting right on the front foot here.
Absolutely. They are starting as they mean to go on, and Vince Battiato did say, we're not here to make up the numbers, we're going to come all guns blazing, and we've seen that in the first 50 seconds already. So we have our first corner of the game, and that one flies in towards the centre of the sticks and seen out, but it is going to be An Emma Gibbon goal kick.
Always trying to return serve on Queensland for their goal down in Victoria last year. It was, I think, 2 minutes into the second half. Corner was swung in, and it was Marguerite who actually got credit for the touch on the line.
Yeah, Tegan riding with the corner, and it was a deflection into the net. And they put the pressure on in the late stages of that game, so Queensland went down with a fight. Always good to play at the home of the Matildas, of course.
It's nice getting these dedicated football facilities around here.
Absolutely.
Could use a few more, but...
Watch this space, I reckon. Football is on the up, and women's football especially. This Matildas fever is still well upon us.
Or in your case, England's national football team.
Yeah, well, hopefully my family aren't listening, because they didn't hear me at the Women's World Cup. Tilly's shirt's on. I've been disowned. And Victoria just enjoying a spell of possession in the middle, and again playing that ball cross field. And it is Keely Lockhart to whip that one in toward the back post, but only as far as a maroon chest. Emily Roach in a bit of space and crowded out there with intensity, the Queensland defence. Victoria have certainly started with a bit of a pep in their step, getting hold of the ball in the middle of the park. And this time, referee Taylor Schofield has seen something she doesn't like, and Queensland get the free kick. Wasted free kick. It was taken quickly, but sometimes they come off, not on that occasion.
And there's going to be the interesting thing as well, because these players, we've got 7 East players in this lineup for Queensland, but there is still a bit of a feeling out period. Beck Horsey, the lone Sunshine Coast Wanderers player in this squad, they've played against each other, but it is a totally different proposition when you're playing with players that you're probably so used to trying to stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Going from club football to state representative, you have to park your league rivalries and just get on with things.
Thankfully, I don't think there are too many grudges that needed to be settled in training in the build-up to this one.
Yeah. There's no friends in football is one of my favourite phrases, as Gibbon comes out nicely to Clay. Emma Gibbon returned to Easts in 24, had a stint with Spurs and Crystal Palace in the UK, so plenty of experience for her. And Queensland doing well there just to try and keep Victoria at bay, but they've worked their way through and they've got a bit of space on that right-hand side. Ball fired across the face of the goal, and no one able to stick a boot out on that one, much to the relief of Queensland, no doubt.
Another warning sign for the Maroon girls, as I thought Markowski would have been pretty confident of her chances getting foot on ball.
She's just warming up, I'm sure. She's lurking on the edge of the box there, Maya Markowski, the FC Bulleen Lions player. They, of course, topped the table at the end of the NPL in Victoria, finishing the league with 52 points following their 17 wins. And Queensland just making some early introductions there on their Victorian counterparts, but give away a free kick in the proceedings.
A few pedestrians getting a view of the match as well through that gap in the fencing. Hopefully they're enjoying what they're seeing.
Absolutely. And Victoria finding a bit of space on that far side, but again crowded out by maroon jerseys and making their way up the field for a throw. There's a little shot there of David De Silva, just giving some instructions from the sideline as he sees his Queensland side under a bit of pressure. Dave De Silva, of course, the Brisbane City coach, so it's his stomping ground. And Gibbon just unable to find Queensland feet there. Queensland under a little bit of pressure here. So
Leagues in Victoria as well, they're varying things up with the way that they've positioned their players. They've got two up top as well, with Markovski teaming up with Johnson, but plenty of attacking options in that midfield as well, with some support coming from Eliadis.
Yeah, and that ball in there was from Eliadis, another one who plays her league football with Bulleen Lions. And Queensland trying the short ball out the back here and just spilling under pressure once again. So Victoria certainly playing with intent. And Queensland now with Latham. She's using Singh. And Mazzoni linking up nicely with Latham as Queensland try and find a way through, but that one's going to run all the way through to Mason Jones.
Not too much on that pass, which is picked up by Horsey, as she'll try and get it to the dynamic and very experienced striking duo of Riding and Latham. First decent attacking chance for the home side, as Tilly Kramer, no shortage of A-League experience for her.
Yeah, Kramer, as mentioned, playing her football at Brisbane City. 33 appearances across 3 seasons with Western Sydney and Wellington Phoenix, and also raw experience for her as well. And here come Victoria again.
Good ball.
This time with Lockhart. And Lockhart with a left foot shot across the face of goal. But again, no blue shirt. Not sure whether that was a shot or a cross in the end.
We might see on the replay, down in the bottom right corner of the screen, it was good tracking back from Kramer, as I think it was just a skewed shot, maybe a bit of a bobble off the pitch. Or maybe it could have been a cross. I won't try and get into...
Yeah, it's not our job. It's a dangerous game.
I'm trying to get into anyone's head. It's a dangerous game.
I should have learned. Good defending at the back there by Margery.
One of the areas Queensland should have a fair bit of cohesion as well is across their back line. They've got Clark, Margery, Kachenko as well. Those players very, very familiar with one another, but different setups as well. Hakana, Kachenko, very, very experienced. Just goes behind, and it's a goal kick. Much to the chagrin of Johnson, who thinks it might have been a corner.
So 9 minutes in, plenty of pressure already building.
How did that last touch come off?
Oh, I think they've got that one right. I think he rolled onto a blue foot in the end.
Well, we are Queensland commentators, so let's just say the decision for Queensland was right. Let's own it.
I keep that under my hat, but there we go. And Queensland with a ball through towards Kramer. And a little bit of luck there as it came through, but Lockhart was able to get there first. Lockhart playing in the left-back position, but getting plenty of work forward.
Left back in name, to say the least.
Lovely footwork there by Markovski, and a deflection there allows Queensland to scrappily clear their lines. Only as far as the middle of their half though, but the shot off in the end sails wide. A little bit of pressure again. They're insisting on going with the short goal kick. And Victoria with the shot off, and it sails by a whisker, I would say, past that right-hand post.
Well, the camera position we had was almost perfect to see how that one was travelling, and from the low angle as well. Shot was trying to bend inside that far post, just not enough on it. Maybe could have used a little bit of a gust of wind from the far side of the pitch.
Yeah, it was Hayley Johnson, the Preston Lions attacker, who got the shot off in the end. It wasn't far off. And again, That one just the sting taken out of it as it hit Singh on the way through to Gibbon. Brisbane City players pretty comfortable with that play from their goalkeeper, having a lot of trust in their keeper, Georgie Worth.
Georgie Worth, former goalkeeper for a number of A-League clubs as well, but not involved today. I'm sure she's watching some of her teammates on, though.
Absolutely. There's plenty of talent in the training squad, so it would have been a hard decision for Dave De Silva and Lachlan Long, no doubt. And the Victorians just rolling up the sleeves on the jerseys to get a bit of this Queensland sun.
Make the most of it while they're here.
Miata just playing that ball across field. And trying to find a way forward, but that one's going to run all the way through to Gibbon. Shielded well at the back by Holly Clark. Got the pass onto Kramer. Just a little miscommunication between Kramer and Clark there, and Victoria with another opportunity to attack. Victoria happy to go all the way back to Mason Jones and just rebuild with captain Checker, Adelaide-born defender, and it's Queensland's turn to capitalise on a mistake. Safe to say Kramer's got a fair engine on her, having seen a fair bit of her in a Brisbane City shirt this season.
One of the fitter players we've got going around in the league, keeping up with Child as well.
Yeah, incidental exercise. Good little tussle back there from Latham, but Victoria are going to try and release Markovski. Gibbon had no choice but to come and put a boot through that one.
Not afraid to come off her line, Emma Gibbon.
Victoria again forcing Queensland to just play that into touch. It was a lovely ball with the outside of the boot towards Markovski, and Gibbon read that very well.
She was off her line so quickly, and she had to be as well, because if Markovski was able to just get that first touch, we would have banked on her to score as well.
And apparently she loves a goal celebration, so
I did notice on the
on
the promotional photos in the lead up this week, she was doing the Erling Haaland celebration.
Yes. We've seen that a little bit in the Mitre Festival of Football already in some of the grand finals. As this one comes across again, but cleared. The danger is still ever present, and the shot sails over into the terrace. Keely Lockhart of Heidelberg Juventus with the shot on this occasion. 13 goals in 23 matches for her as well.
I do like the fact that they've actually got the netting on the deck behind the pitch as well, because you don't want to have the ball landing on one of the famous pizzas here at Brisbane City.
They've got to keep that pizza oven safe. I think it's about the patrons, but it's about the pizza. It's always about the pizza. Little no-look pass there from Miata, and Queensland are not having any of that. It's not usually the area of the pitch you see the no-look pass.
That's the end of season. Let's have a bit of fun.
Why not? And here is Markovski, and this time trying to get that shot off pretty quickly.
Perhaps eyeing off the pitch and seeing if there was anything coming up from the ground, but Markovski so dangerous with both feet, with her head. It's pretty much everything you'd want in the striker, and
yeah, she got 3 or 4 with her head this season.
You just saw on your screen some of the players from across the Waves FC with the FQPL Champions League match, which was played before this one, which some of our Queensland viewers might be a bit more familiar with.
Yeah, there's plenty of football still happening as we are deep into the Mitre Festival of Football. So league football has, of course, wrapped up. We had our grand finals a few weeks ago, but No shortage of sport for the neutrals, of course. Eliadis with another one of those long searching passes forward, looking for Roach, who got there ahead of Margery, but unfairly, says the ref.
Let's just see what the replay has to say about that one. Just myself. Ooh, I think there might have been a bit of luck there for Margery. Turf monster perhaps tripped her up.
Just look a little dry on the near side of the pitch. But there's been plenty of football on there, so understandable.
Riding looking to get involved. Both Queensland strikers fairly quiet thus far.
Yeah, it won't take much when they do get hold of it, so they'll be biding their time as they just see the early stages of this game unfold. So representatives of both respective NPL winners amongst the sides. Brisbane City winning on their first season back in the NPL, and in Victoria, Heidelberg United were the grand final winners. 3-2 victory over Preston Lions, who are also very well represented here today.
5 Preston players, a couple of Heidelberg ones as well.
Queensland with possession inside their own half, finding a way through with Singh. The first time pass not reaching its intended target. The good opportunity there for Queensland to just find a way through this blue wall. You mentioned that David De Silva is the Brisbane City coach, and Vince Battiato is the Essendon Royals coach. As we see Markovski beat the offside flag, and she is going to be through on goal. Little chip into the bottom left-hand corner, and there is the Cristiano Ronaldo. We called it.
We did, and it was just such a calm finish from Markovski as well. She's had her chances. She's finally got her radar tuned in, and she made Queensland pay.
She's gone with a City player, now she's gone with an ex-United player with her celebrations. You see this again, little dink over the incoming Gibbon.
And not a whole lot Kachenko could really do about that one as well, but how about the ball through from Eliadis? Just waited to draw in Margery, and from there it was only going to be one winner in that foot race. As well, look, maybe if this was a club match, Kachenko might have tried to put in a tackle, but you're running the risk of a red card even in what is essentially a postseason friendly match.
Yeah, and even like you said, the ball through from Eliadis, there was a little tug on her shirt on the way through, so I think it was just a great bit of football from Victoria.
And look, not to sound biased in any way, shape or form, but it is frustratingly what Victoria have deserved based on how the first 19 and a half minutes have gone.
Absolutely. Queensland have been under the pump at the back, and here come Victoria again, but well defended there, Stella Mazzoni, using her body very well.
I've been told I can be a little biased. I just want to make that clear.
Victorian fans will have their own coverage, right?
I'm sure they will.
Given.
Or we'll wind up on the NPL Victoria coverage before long.
Yeah. There's a little hint. 20 minutes of this state versus state battle. First blood goes to Victoria. And I think if we were doing our predictions today, Markovski would definitely be the name in the hat for the first goal. Victoria on that far side. Eliadis just finding herself in dangerous positions, and this ball through. Gibbon again with a comfortable and confident clearance, finding feet as well. Lovely ball through, and again, I think it was it Kramer just on this near side, playing them on side.
There we go with Latham as get it to Riding.
Yeah, plenty of goals between those two, so I'll be hoping to just get this game under control. The Queensland skipper.
Well, they did fall behind 2-0 last year as well, so it's not as though this is an unfamiliar spot for them.
And there's plenty of the game left to play, as we see Roach, South Melbourne FC player, just twisting and dancing her way out of trouble there, and Victoria with the switch, just seeing that one run over. So an opportunity here for the Mazzoni throw. And Latham just using, is it Latham riding?
It was Latham.
Using her strength there.
A bit too much from Steph Latham.
On Nishimura, Preston's Lion Japanese player, developed through the elite Japanese football pathway. Become a fan favourite since joining her club side. Markowski with some good pressure, some good defence in attack there. Markowski with a little flick over again. Kramer and Clark having to team up to try and force her out of trouble. And the shot from range. Nishimura just sails wide of the post.
So I've got my own in the next 5 or so minutes from Queensland, and I don't know how strict the tactical instructions will have been with the couple of weeks to prep for this game. They did start off, at least on the team sheet that was given to us, with 3 central defenders, the Eastern Suburbs trio. I'll be interested to see how they move Chantel Malgary around.
So we see Markowski again trying to do a little dink over Gibbon.
Flag has gone up for offside.
Oof.
Heavy collision though.
There's a let-off in the end. You're just talking about the 3 at the back and how they may change, and Markowski's found a way through.
But I'm noticing one of those central defenders is always trying to push up into midfield to add an extra number, but it is starting to create a few chances for the Victorians to spring that offside trap. So we may wind up seeing Malgary moved around, possibly Kramer or Mazzoni into midfield, or possibly even Malgary herself, because she has played defensive midfield for East from time to time this season.
Yeah, and they've got Jess Dillon in there as well, who's playing a pretty similar position to what she plays in her club football. So a little bit of familiarity, a lot of familiarity between the Queensland defence and midfield.
Beautiful ball.
And the flag is up again on Johnson. So Victoria putting the pressure on, but just sneaking a little early on those 2 occasions.
And Malgary got a little bit lucky there, because we've got on the replay just a little right arm around Johnson, so the flag might have
saved her.
just a little bit, yeah. Well, not afraid of a confrontation, to be fair, the Queensland number 2.
And I think just the way she ran across the back of Johnson was always going to be a danger of a clip on the heels. And this one running all the way through to Bethany Mason-Jones.
Saw the replay again. It was definite contact there, but again, the offside flag. Yes. Must have known the flag had gone up.
25 minutes just about to tick over, so Queensland are surviving a fair bit of pressure, not yet had any of their own clear-cut chances. Victoria playing the ball around nicely at the back with Checker. Lovely 1-2 touch football in the middle. Roach just getting it back and pulling the strings in there. Confident clearance. Putting a boot through that one.
Queensland just need a few minutes in possession, which Victoria haven't really allowed them to do so, but spare ball on the pitch, or is it tried the throw in from the correct location?
And that one over to Eliadis, who found space nicely, squares a ball across. We've seen a few of those, but no blue shirts in a dangerous spot, but they come again here. And Malgary just seeing that one over for a Victoria corner. Playing those balls across the face of the goal to just see if someone can stick a foot on it.
Well, that strategy has worked pretty well for Dave De Silva for the last couple of years, so why abandon it now?
Victoria with a couple of blue shirts lurking on the 18-yard line as this one comes deep. And the head across from Johnson, just wide of the post. Johnson, who's only joined the Preston Lions this recent season from UMF Selfoss in Iceland. Golden Boot winner in the league, 21 in 24 matches. As Queensland survive another scare there. You can see why the coaches had some selection headaches looking at the stats.
A little bit too far in front of the attacker there from Latham. He's still trying to get on the same page, perhaps. Funny you mentioned Iceland. That's actually quite a high number of players seem to go to Iceland, especially from the US college system after graduating there and finding a few contracts over there. Shay Connors, phenomenal Queensland striker, now with Sydney FC. Well, honorary Queensland striker, I think is how she described herself.
Ball forward there, this time finding a maroon shirt and chance to enjoy their own spell of pressure, Queensland. Lovely ball through, looking for riding, but just a little too close to the incoming Mason Jones. There was a great ball across there from Shiana Singh.
Yeah, and Singh, she's capable of hitting these long-range shots as well, and it seems like she's trying to play a little bit closer to the strikers, just provide a bit more support, but that's more of what we need to see from Queensland, just holding onto the ball and getting the passes to teammates.
Markowski just muscled out there on the right side. Queensland happy to go back to Gibbon, but lots of pressure on from Johnson, and Gibbon had no choice but to put a boot through it. I think there's 30 minutes in, but still a little bit of settling to do here for Queensland. Eliadis with space to turn. Lovely left foot ball, looking for Johnson. And Latham with a little back heel touch, but counterpart checker in the space. Victoria with Eliadis, and a shot from range. Tiffany Eliadis sails over the bar. She's been a serial winner, Tiffany Eliadis. Found herself in a great spell of space there to have a crack from range.
Well travelled as well, Eliadis. Just all over the place.
5 goals to her name this season, so you can see why she had her eye on the goal. Latham now with room to turn. Lovely through ball to Riding, but again, just running through to the keeper. Seeing Johnson and Markowski doing a little bit of switching as this half progresses. Left to right. Lovely control from Mazzoni. Just one touch too many.
If you want it back.
Whatever you can do, I can do too, says Mazzoni. Here is Riding with support from Latham. Can she find her? Oh, just bounced away. Couldn't quite get it on the tip of her right boot, the captain. Markowski dropping deep to collect. Roach finding Miata. Good defending there from Horsey. Queensland just trying to get a boot on the ball so they can settle this down in midfield. That one cut out, but only as far as McGowery. Long ball forward, finds Kramer. Not able to keep it in on the byline.
Just a little hesitation there. I think perhaps checking to see if she was offside, Tilly Kramer, but again, that's better from Queensland. They're starting to find ways in behind the Victorian defence, but that last ball isn't quite there for them yet.
It was a lovely run from Kramer, and I think I would assume, right, that she hesitated rather than just playing onto the whistle as she got to the ball there. Just runs over.
Ooh,
A little bit of pressure.
Miscontrol at the back, perhaps from Mason Jones, as Latham putting the pressure on.
Queensland, the ball in a good spot here. Latham, and this time Victoria get a boot on it, and Queensland will have their first corner of the half.
Much to the surprise of Mason Jones, but that decision is final. Overcomes Riding for the delivery, and it's one area where, no pun intended, it does feel like Queensland might be a little bit short. He's at the set pieces, finding the height. Maybe they just have to get the delivery into a player who can find a little bit of space.
I'm hoping they pop up with a good header at the back now you've said that.
Well, look,
Someone's going to leap like a salmon. In from Riding.
What would we know about a commentator's curse?
All the way through a sea of blue. And look where Markovsky is. She's back in that defensive position.
Well, all I'll say is 2 weeks ago at Suncorp, I definitely didn't say that'll be the last action of the match before Brisbane City's winner.
No one noticed. Queensland still in possession in Victoria's half, but just giving it away from the throw. Regain possession on that far side. And this time it will be a Victoria throw.
It's caught up in the netting above the advertising boards on that far side of the pitch. We'll have to grab a spare football to get play back underway.
Some instructions there from the skipper, Latham. They get set to defend. And just boxing Victoria in here. This is where they'll want to keep him. Markovsky with the flick, cut out by a Queensland jersey. And it's Mazzoni who gets a head on it in the end, so Victoria again coming forward with the throw. Taranto with a ball forward. And Gibbon. There is the Queensland Brains Trust.
I think that might be the first time I've ever seen Dave De Silva sitting during a match.
It's only a brief spell, no doubt. And Victoria. Again, Markovsky just loves a little flick. And Eliadis, who's playing a bit of a playmaker role in the middle there, just distributing.
It's always nice when you're the player that your coach trusts so much that you just go, all right, line up here and just go do what you want.
Yep. Queensland now on the attack. Latham on the edge of the box, trying to find space. And the ball in towards Riding. Couldn't get the shot off, Tegan Riding.
That would have been a very close offside call because there was a player on that far side possibly keeping Riding on, but just bounced, and that was that awkward height for her. Couldn't quite get the leg up to bring the football down, and that's not a good sign for Mason Jones, who's just down requiring some repairs.
Yeah, it just came across the body of Tegan Riding. Like you said, the height was too awkward for her to get a foot on it.
Didn't quite bounce high enough to knot it down either, but last 10 minutes now, Queensland are starting to create a few more attacking opportunities, but well, if we're going to dip into the bag of commentary cliches, we may as well say Queensland pushing forward in numbers, searching for the equaliser. That always leaves them vulnerable for...
I'm not falling for it this time.
Not the counter-attack.
It's all yours. I do enjoy a counter-attack. We just saw there on screen Erin Hudson, who is the sub-goalkeeper for today's game, also of FC Bulleen Lions. So good experience. She was in the 2023 final 17. So hopefully nothing too sinister here for Bethany Mason-Jones, but they do have the experience of Hudson as required.
So doing the research for this game as well, one thing that impressed me most about Beth Mason-Jones, 2 yellow cards in her final 3 matches apparently. So that's what you want from your keeper. Business end of the season, doing enough to, or doing something to earn a yellow card. So I'm quite impressed by that, as there is the trophy, the Jones-Millman Cup that they're playing for this afternoon. I was about to say this evening, but we're not quite there yet, are we?
Not quite. There's still a fair bit of that afternoon sun blazing down on the players as they just made the most of a little drink break.
More than a few players trying to get some fluids on board. Still 24 degrees out there with wind coming from northeast. It's just not as humid as it can get sometimes though at this time of year. So that semi-final weekend we had days that were topping 30 degrees and
yeah, it can get pretty tough playing football out there at this time of year. Good to see Bethany Mason-Jones is back on her feet.
We also just got told, can you give us another 10 or so minutes?
Absolutely. That one from Mason-Jones just falling short for Queensland. Bethany Mason-Jones will not want to be departing early. She hasn't had a yellow card yet.
No, she's got another few minutes at least to get one before half-time.
It's always curious with goalkeepers. Is it for time wasting or something a little more juicy? Short one from Mason-Jones. And a shot off from range.
It was Malgary. Of course it was Malgary. She scored a phenomenal goal in his final match of the season, their semi-final defeat against Lions.
Only made her NPL senior debut in 21. She's got a dangerous right boot and has previously won a Golden Boot award, so yeah, no surprise.
And she's a defender.
Yeah, love those stats.
Don't tell me you're a central defender as well.
I was a central defender without those stats. Any goals scored by me were usually an accident.
Or own goals.
Yeah, no comment. Here is Markovsky. Getting plenty of the ball as she drops deep. And Lockhart again, who's finding herself in an attacking spot. Well defended there. And Queensland, Dillon, lovely footwork. Latham just trying to play that one through quickly. 5 minutes of normal time remain in this half. We'll have some stoppage, of course, for the injury to Bethany Mason-Jones.
A few familiar faces in the crowd at Imperial Corp Stadium, taking in the action on a Saturday afternoon during school holidays.
And of course, another game to follow with the men's NPL sides battling it out. 6:30 kickoff. Queensland just switching the play over to the near side. Clark finding her way forward and getting on the end of this one. Holly Clark, ball across toward Tegan Riding, but finds Kramer on the rebound, but Victoria just able to play it out. Kramer though looking lively, and Kramer just shoved off the ball there by Tiffany Eliadis, who maybe wasn't too happy that Queensland played on while Markovsky went down.
Well, that's where I always say, defer to the referee. If she wants to stop play. That's his or her decision. And it was deemed to be play on. And I think that might have also just been from Eliadis, a bit of a tactical foul to just make sure play was stopped to allow her teammate to get treatment.
Yeah, Eliadis is a strong presence in the middle of that Victorian midfield. So Clark just leaving the free kick for Kachenko. Kachenko finds Clark. Lovely 1-2 back to Clark, who plays a ball across to the near post. And nothing from the referee.
Tell you what, that was a very hefty collision on Holly Clark, who has a smile on her face after that in true defender's fashion.
Holly Clark, who found herself in some lovely space, and she was instrumental in a little 1-2 pass there and was taken out in the area, but the referee thinks fairly.
And club teammate Kachenko just asking the question about whether or not that should have been a penalty, but don't mind the question being asked, but can also kind of see why they just said, not play on.
Yep.
Shot was taken on goal.
And it was right in front of the assistant referee on this near side, so decision was play on, but a good attacking spell from Queensland.
Or if we do want to be incredibly biased, we'll just say that definitely was 100% a penalty. Not that we would be biased.
Not at all. And this time it's Queensland's turn to put out a Victoria attack as Eliadis keeps Victoria in possession. Ball in, finds the hands of Gibbon. Gibbon, who's got a fair bit of the sun in her eyes on this side of the pitch.
It's going to be interesting in the second half as well, with that sun getting a little bit low. We aren't really seeing that much of the shadows lengthening across this right side of the pitch from our camera position. So you wonder if that could be an issue for whoever is in goals for Victoria in the second half.
Tanaka finding Johnson.
Either way, whether they're wearing blue or maroon, it is quite warm out there because, well, it is getting to that time of year.
Yeah, they'll be keen to hear the half-time whistle in a few minutes' time, just to reset at least. 1-0 the scoreline, so the margin is still pretty slim. Victoria just under a bit of pressure here from Queensland. Victoria coming forward, but a cracking tackle at the back from Kachenko. Markovsky dispossessed.
Fatigue might be starting to set in for a few players on both sides.
Queensland able to find a little bit of real estate on this near side as they have a throw. Dispossessed though by Roach. And Latham still got the energy to chase. Great tackle from Latham to force that one over for a goal kick. So very keen to still put the pressure on as we reach close to the end of the first half.
Three minutes of time added on. Last touch was off Latham.
We've had a couple of players down in this first half, but nothing too significant, so 3 minutes seems more than fair.
And either way, it is still, for all intents and purposes, a post-season friendly, so we should have a bit of stoppage time still added. And I use friendly in the loosest term possible.
No friendlies in football, as we've mentioned. Victoria.
Spot the traditionalist.
Far side. Probably a good job my boots are gathering dust in the wardrobe. Queensland with the throw inside the Victoria half. Just four blue shirts muscling them out though. Markovsky just waiting for support. She finds it. It's cut out nicely by Mowgary. Markowski again trying to find a way forward down that line, but now Tegan Riding has chance to run and she's going to go it alone. She's still going, little ball across. I think must be assuming Latham was there. But that one goes into no man's land and Victoria able to clear.
I think the last time I've seen Tegan Riding pass up a shot like that. It's a beautiful ball over the top and Riding just putting on the afterburners.
And she had Latham, but not very close at all as she rolls that one across the 6-yard line.
You've always got to make that support run, even if you are trying to support someone like Riding who can bury them from pretty much any angle.
I think it was Singh who ended up being closest to it in the end. And here is Riding again.
And when you've got over 200 NPL goals to your name like Tegan Riding does, it's reasonable to assume that she's capable of finishing from that angle.
So maybe she will take the shot next time.
I'll tell you what, this has been an eventful end to the first half, Amy. It's been good fun, plenty of chances for both sides.
Yeah, Victoria had all the pressure to start off with, but Queensland definitely with a bit of energy as we enter the latter stages. And that shot forcing a save, even though it was pretty far wide.
I think it might have taken a deflection on the way through, perhaps, and that's why Mason Jones was trying to make the save.
Latham.
Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it anyway.
Mason Jones just found herself quite far out of her box, so a little disorientated perhaps, as we see the Queensland bench looking on for this late corner.
3.5 minutes gone in the stoppage time, so I won't send the keeper up for this one.
We're going to keep your advice on board for future corners, I think, James. And there is the half-time whistle, and it has been a bit of a flurry of activity in the latter stages of the half. A very well contested half, but early spoils going to Victoria.
And you'd have to say Victoria, better side for the first 20 or so minutes. Queensland finding their way into it in the final quarter of an hour or so. A couple of physical challenges being made, but overall, I quite enjoyed it, and there's still a whole lot to play for over the next 45 plus minutes.
Yeah, plenty to stick around for. We'll go to a short break and we'll be back with 45 minutes of joy.
Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
So 1 goal to Victoria is the only thing setting them apart so far.
And you can see the players for the men's match out, just familiarising themselves with the Imperial Corp Stadium pitch as something's starting to set to the right of the screen, and I think we might have some first half highlights to talk about up next, Amy.
Absolutely, we're going to see the Victoria goal. So like we've said, the only thing setting both sides apart at the moment, but plenty of chances as we got stuck in. And here is the first attack from Victoria. Plenty of pressure early with Johnson and Markowski just continuing to switch from left to right. Sure that was a corner.
Yeah, it's well, our competitive spirit is certainly alive and well right now, as Johnson was adamant that was the corner, and shot from range. A few of those have gone very, very close.
Yeah, there was plenty of pressure early doors, and Eliadis again using her strength as a couple of them sailed wide.
I thought that one was going in live just from the angle we had. Thought it was going to bend in.
I thought Johnson did too. And this one we saw a lot of Gibbon being pretty confident coming off her line.
Making a case perhaps to start round 1 for Alex Smith.
Yeah, just announced as signing for the Raw again for this season, and there she is again coming out from range. But this one was a lovely through ball from Eliadis. Markowski using her strength and cheeky little dink.
Yes, very, very cheeky, very calm from Markowski. Gibbon just really caught in that middle of nowhere zone. Couldn't quite come out and close down the angle, and Markowski makes absolutely no mistake, as you would expect.
Yeah, we've seen the Ronaldo from her for the first celebration, so we'll see if Queensland can keep her quiet, otherwise we might have to dip into a bag of tricks for some more celebrations.
And if not, I'm sure she'll dip into the bag of tricks just on the pitch as well, which there's plenty of.
And this one, another through ball for Markowski, again looking to just chip that one over Gibbon, but Gibbon did well.
And the offside flag saved Queensland on a couple of occasions, like that one there as Malgary with the little tug on the jersey. And then Queensland started to create a few chances as the second half went on. It was about the 25th minute where they really started to make those combinations work for them.
Yeah, and Eliadis again, this time having a crack herself.
Riding, searching ball, trying to pick out Latham, and that's probably the one combination we haven't quite seen come together the way we'd hope. Kramer thought she might have been able to keep that one in, just a little bit of hesitation catching her out there.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of the defenders getting forward. Clark on this occasion with a little bit of...
she was clattered into, let's call it for what it was. But
she was wiped out in the area.
She did get the shot away, however.
But Clark and Kramer seeing plenty of the action in attack, and Shahana Singh as well getting forward to help out Riding and Latham, but just not quite connecting for Queensland in that first half.
No, we've got two of the most potent goal scorers in the Queensland competition, but on this instance, they just couldn't quite get going as Latham just pulls up at the end there, and Riding thought she had Latham in support for the tap-in along the 6-yard box, but no support there, and in the end, another chance goes begging for Queensland. However, the optimist in me is saying we've got plenty of chances coming for Queensland and Victoria in the second half, because what do we want as commentators more than anything else? Chaos.
Chaos and goals, and I think there's plenty for both coaches to talk about in the sheds at half-time. Queensland building the pressure as that first half came to a close, but just, not able to get anything on the end of it. So plenty of promising chances.
It certainly is, and I think got some chances coming our way for the men's match, which kicks off 6:30 local time.
Yeah, 6:30 local time for the men's game. We will head into another ad break and then bring you the second half from Imperial Corp Stadium.
Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
This is a team in
State v State. We've still yet to figure out if it's mate v mate, but so far Victoria have stamped their mark on the game. 1-0 Victoria. This time last year the game finished 2-1 to Victoria, with plenty of pressure from Queensland in the latter stages. We've got a change of keeper for Queensland, so Emma Gibbon, who had a cracking first half, has made way for the Gold Coast United keeper Layla Adams.
And one other change I'm seeing for Queensland as well as the fourth officials board just goes up, confirming that change in goals is Lila Utatau on wearing number 3, the Souths United wide player, winger, fullback, pretty much whatever she's needed to be for Trent Gregson and company.
And again, early spell of pressure from Queensland, just forcing Queensland to play that one over the touchline. So early throw to be taken by Tanaka. Markovsky, who was the scorer of that first goal, finds Eliadis. Markovsky gets it back on the byline, and that one just bundled over in defence. Going to have a first corner early. Markovsky with some strapping on that right thigh.
I was just trying to work out if is that new or did she have that in the first half? I'm not.
You weren't paying attention?
Not that closely, no.
Well, she did go down on this near side in the first half, so I'm going to say that is a new addition to her get up for the second half. As the corner comes in from Victoria.
Ooh.
And still under pressure, but that one just spilling into the path of a Queensland player, and riding now, striding forward. This time we'll hope to have some support as she switches across. First time ball in there from Singh.
If that was an attempted control or a pass, perhaps to try and tee up Latham.
Good spell of pressure.
And just confirming that other change, Tilly Kramer for Lila Utatau. Oh, good work by Kachenko.
Kachenko having a crack from range. So a chance apiece in the early stages of the second half.
No chance for us or those rushing back from the pizza oven, as you just see it there above the goal.
Both sides surviving those spells of pressure, and Victoria still with Bethany Mason-Jones, despite her going down with a bit of a knock in that first half. She's still between the sticks. As Eliadis pokes that one through, and another first-time pass across to Checker. Victoria happy to switch the ball from side to side. Always good to see them spread the play. And that one this time defended by Lila Utatau. Slotted in on this left side. Pocket was picked there though by Markovsky.
And we should just clarify as well for anyone watching, perhaps from outside Queensland, we are contractually obligated to mention the pizzas at Brisbane City every time that we're doing a match here because they are that good.
It's not just because we're hungry. Left foot ball forward, and Adams happy to control that and collect. So also happy to get off her line, Layla Adams. Only made her NPL senior debut in 23, and some junior Matildas experience as well, Adams.
The lone Gold Coast United representative in this side, 2022 and 2023 grand finalists. Gold Coast United lost both of those matches to Lions and East respectively, but it's going to be an interesting off-season for Gold Coast United. Seems like they're going to be undergoing a bit of a overhaul of players, bringing through some of their youth prospects, with Adams one of the featured ones.
Yeah, and to make your debut in 23 and get junior Matilda's experience and then get selected for Queensland representative football is not too shabby at all. So credit to Layla Adams. Great to see her get a good spell this afternoon.
Well, a couple of her teammates perhaps might have been in contention for selection as well if health and availability had permitted. Bronte Rose.
Markovski just trying to shake off the challenge, and there is Layla Adams.
So calm, Adams there, just getting it away under the face of the very imposing figure of Markovski, just brushing off Malgary.
Tanaka just shoved off the ball on this near side, so Miyato just leaving that one as Latham's trying to get them to get on with proceedings. It's going to be Taranto to take the Victoria free kick.
Moving it off that little divot on the near side of the pitch, and it's a bit more than a little divot, but anyway.
The off-season is every groundsman's dream as well, isn't it? A bit of TLC as that one just picked out of the air just before Eliadis could make any contact with it.
That was less than a second away from being the most impressive goal you could have scored. The most impeccably timed free kick I've seen in a very long time.
And Victoria just cutting the danger out here as they get the ball forward down the line, but one just finds the head of Malgary.
Oh, well, Roach.
A lovely ball into the middle of the park, but just making its way through to the Victorian defence. Checker, the captain. Another one with significant experience. Played for Canberra and also has played some football in South Korea.
That's part of football. It lets you travel.
Plenty of opportunity and more opportunity for the women's game. Seeing plenty of the Tillies playing their football in the Women's Super League.
You don't mean Tilly Kramer, do you?
The Matildas. Everyone's favourite Tillies. And Victoria just asserting their authority inside their half as they try to release Markovski, but Adams, who's keen to get a few touches on the ball as she enters first 5 minutes for herself.
All right, so we'll go for a bit of trivia now, Amy. We did have a NPL, Matilda running around here in the NPL Queensland this year. Sian Fryer. She played 9 games for Brisbane City. What was the one game she didn't score in in the NPL?
Now you're testing whether I pay attention. The one that she didn't play.
That was the grand final.
Oh, of course. Lainey Fryer was on the score sheet.
Yeah, 2 assists for Sian Fryer, but no goals for her that afternoon. Although I think she'll be pretty happy with setting up that dramatic 98th minute winner for Amy Cook.
I'll give you that trivia question because I wasn't thinking of the finals. So. But Lainey Fryer, of course, also been announced as signing for the Raw. So the dangerous Fryer sisters will be linking up in the orange of Brisbane Roar in the coming season.
And the scary thing is, as phenomenal as the development of Sian Fryer over the last 18 months has been, and again, if you're from outside Queensland, just bear with us. We're going to get a little bit hometown bias-ish, but the development of Sian Fryer, there were reports when they were growing up through the gap. Lainey, just as good.
Yeah, and she's proven that this season. There's been some cracking football for those two in Brisbane City colours.
And of course, the reason they are unavailable for this is because they are part of Alex Smith's Brisbane Roar squad, same as Momo Hayashi from Gold Coast United.
Victoria finding Markovski. Great defence again at the back for Queensland. And another junior Matilda squad member who didn't make the final 17, but Eva Goodschmidt for FC Emerging, one of the Victorian players. So plenty of experience. Anna Leokopoulos, well, another player hailed a future Matilda. And Victoria coming forward here, but well defended again. This time Holly Clark had a strong first half.
And just to translate across state lines, the FV Emerging is essentially the QAS similar program here in Queensland. So some of the state's best and brightest young players.
As we see Vince Battiato there on the sideline. His Essendon Royals finishing 3rd in the league this season. 45 points, so just missing out on goal difference. They had the same points as Preston Lions. And Victoria again with another spell in attack. The shot this time cut out by Mowgary. Cracking bit of defence from Chantel Mowgary as Miato pulled the trigger on the edge of the area.
Desperation lunge from Mowgary to try and block that, and after discussion it is going to be a corner because the adjudication is that the last touch came off the East defender. I'm entirely sure she agrees with that decision, but I think the signal
Never
might
matters.
and the signal might have come from the assistant on the far side as well. On the near side, I beg your pardon.
And it was Miata who was involved early in that little spell, so received the ball back for the shot. And here is the corner. She's coming in towards the centre of the 6-yard line. Checker. A crack from range again blocked. Sea of maroon coming out to defend.
Lockhart did score in that grand final win for Heidelberg, so he knows how to put a shot on target. That is going to be something to watch over the next 35 or so minutes. These set pieces, Layla Adams, not the tallest of goalkeepers, and you mentioned in the first half, it's a tall Victorian side.
Yeah, just seeing that throw in there from the captain, Emma Checker. She's got a pretty long range on her throw, so it's not only the corners that Queensland will have to be wary of. Adams happy to play that one short and gives her an opportunity to have another go. And Singh and Taranto just getting into a bit of a tussle there, but nothing too much doing with that one.
Not really to get too worked up over.
Queensland do have the free kick though, so.
Ooh. Caught a little bit late, Tanaka.
It was newcomer to the half, Lila Mutato. Just a little overzealous as she tried to get something on that. David De Silva was happy with it, giving a little applause from the sideline.
Yeah, if it was there, just timing a little bit off.
And it's good to see the pressure from both sides high up the pitch as Victoria look again for that diagonal pass, and Markovsky able to put a bit of pressure on Adams, but Adams cool and calm as she plays it into the Tato. Another diagonal ball across, but this time Adams happy to just let that one bounce its way through into her gloves. So it was the Asian Cup qualifiers that Layla Adams had a little bit of a spell for the Junior Matildas. And Mason Jones using her defenders to try and find a way out. Switching the ball across to the left. Queensland finding a little bit of room in the middle here. Nishimura.
Well, straight through the back from Horsey.
Tanaka now able to come forward, and again one of those searching diagonal balls into the area. I've seen a few of those from Victoria in the game so far.
Yeah, they feel like they've got a fairly profitable way through this Queensland defence, and it's just getting that timing down between the player making the pass and the one making the run.
I do enjoy a goalkeeper who is comfortable with the ball at their feet, and we're seeing plenty of that from both sides so far today.
And here comes the cavalry for Queensland.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a flurry of changes.
I'll get my pens ready to write them all down for us.
And Singh involved again. Chiana Singh, the South's player, has seen plenty of the ball in the opening 60 minutes.
She can score a goal here as well, despite not actually playing for Brisbane City. It was the Women's Cup final here in 2023. Broke the deadlock against the dynastic Lions side with a long-range stunner of a strike.
And Queensland with their own searching ball, but Riding, who just looking a little lonely up there, not able to capitalise on the through ball.
And Singh is playing a lot further forward in the second half as well, trying to provide a bit more support than what we saw in the first half to that main striker duo.
Yeah, we look to have Singh alongside Latham and a little triangle with Beck Horsey. And obviously just having that transition from attack into defence in their mind, having to be ready to drop deep.
This is going to be the interesting thing over the next half hour as well, where both of these sides only with 17 in the matchday squad, so fitness is going to be a very, very big, I don't want to say issue because these players have been going all season, but I suppose issue is the operative word.
Yeah, and even that, just playing alongside players who you're not overly familiar with, you may then have to find another little spell to settle into the game, as we see skipper Latham make way for Anna Tormena of Olympic.
Tegan Riding also withdrawn. Kyla Hansen, Anna Hirakawa also coming on in number 11, and Mackenzie Nielsen as well. So we'll just get those all confirmed. So off for Queensland, Latham, Riding, Singh and Mazzoni.
And Victoria trying to find a way through, but Kachenko equal to it.
So a well-deserved early mark for what has been a very long season for pretty much everybody who's taken to the pitch today, including Clark on screen.
Yeah, Holly Clark has had a cracker in defence. She's looking strong at the back and comfortable up against the threat of Markovski. Victoria winning a corner there. Incoming Anna Tormena, born and raised in Brazil, moved to Australia 19 years of age to chase her dreams of playing professional football.
Well, the fact that she's been selected in this squad out of an Olympic side that didn't have the best of seasons, wound up relegated, but she was one of the bright spots out at Goodwin Park this year.
Markovski again trying to find a way through.
And wouldn't you know it, it was Tormena tracking back on defence. So the bench is empty for Dave De Silva. And plenty of bodies around Adams.
Another corner on that far side. Whipped in deep, and Adams with the punch.
Beck Horsey with the clearance.
Lovely ball through, but Violet Otato just slipping in the area and shot off blocked. Queensland happy to just see that one go over for a throw. It's Holly Clark again, she's all over the field in that defensive line. Eliadis trying to get on the end of that as there's appeals for a penalty, and the referee does point to the spot. Queensland unable to deal with that spell of pressure.
And it did look like it came off the hand, and it's one of those times where the reactions of the Queensland players does appear to be quite telling. As the decision to award it was already done there on the replay.
It's Emily Roach, the number 10 Queensland-born player who stepped up to take it. Born in Nambour. Adams is doing a bit of a dance to try and distract her. Roach, top right-hand corner, and a calm celebration from Emily Roach. 2-0 Victoria.
And she didn't take the advice of the fan in the crowd who tried to call out Shank on the run-up, but it was a calm finish into the top corner.
It's lovely of the fans to try and help out there.
We see now the replay of the handball in the first place as it came from this long throw.
And we mentioned Emma Checker and the danger of that throw. As that came in, it was...
Yeah, it's straight off the hand there, and perhaps a little shove in the back from Eliadis, but...
As soon as you raise your hand, as we have another attack here from the goal scorer, Roach. Eliadis, lovely ball cutting through the defence, left foot strike from Tanaka, but that one is well wide of the mark. Mabe Tanaka, Preston Lions, the Japanese attacker, joined this season from Suwon FC in the South Korean top flight and managed to snag 10 goals in 18 appearances. As we see Victoria get ready to make a couple of changes here.
So we've got Ellie Lamonti coming on, as well as Kendra Smith.
And it is number 16, Johnson, who's just made away. And the number 8, Ishimura,
also off. Subs are coming almost as frantically as the goal scoring chances now, Amy.
Yeah, well, Queensland will be hoping they can capitalise on Victoria making some changes, but here are Victoria again. Eliadis with a left foot strike and collected nicely by Adams.
Good save. And Victoria now really starting to turn the screws after that second goal, and to put up a little bit more of a comfortable margin.
Yeah, dangerous through balls coming from the Victorian midfield, just slicing through the Queensland defence at the moment. It's Kyla Hansen on this near side.
Hansen is definitely one to watch going forward. Played with Capalaba prior to signing for East in 2024, and she's slotted into that East side very well. Not always as a starter, coming off the bench as an impact sub from time to time, but a dynamic young presence in the NPL Queensland, Kyla Hansen.
And here is Victoria on the attack now, but great defending at the back by Queensland. It was Ellie Lamont with those fresh legs, the Preston Lions player.
It's going to be the best time to come on in a match like this as a sub. I mean, players, it's been a long season. Some of them have been out there for a while, but for some of these players, they're going to have to go 90 minutes because there are only a certain number of subs available on the bench.
Yeah, and Lamont looking lively since she came on, and she's got experience with Perth Glory, so plenty of experience playing at a high level of football. She'll be looking to help her teammates out with that fresh tank that she has.
Tough gig for her, though. She scored 13 goals this season, and it wasn't enough for a team's golden boot.
Shows the quality you have around you.
Yes, it was the player she replaced, Johnson.
Yeah, Hayley Johnson looked lively in the first half, just seeing the majority of her chances go narrowly wide. We edge towards 70 minutes. Markovsky, Tato, Tanaka finding Markovsky. Lovely bit of footwork, but runs into Maroon traffic. She's got some lovely skill, Markovsky, as she just dribbles her way out of trouble. Finds Checker, but Eliadis with a lovely little flick through, and here is Lamonte. Left foot strike, Adams equal to it, but Roach skips around the defence. Adams again.
Oh, the young keeper standing up big at the near post for the double save. You thought the cutback might have even been on to get it back to Markovsky. You see that first diving save. And the cutback there too, Markovsky could have been on for.
Yeah, Emily Roach on the near side. She's another one with plenty of A-League experience with Canberra, Newcastle Jets, Brisbane Roar. 10 goals to her name this season, so cracking save there from the youngster Layla Adams. And it'll be a confidence boost, no doubt. And Victoria with the corner in. And again, Adams can't quite keep hold of it, but great confidence to come out and claim. And good pressure at the back from, I think, Holly Clark again.
Tormainer now making her way forward as a few of her goals for Olympic this season were long-range strikes. And that might be the way back into it for Queensland, adopting a bit of a shoot-on-sight policy. If they can get down that end of the pitch.
And again, Adams this time supported by Mackenzie Nielsen, who came back to just take the sting out of that one. She is known as a tackling centre-back. Tanaka with space on this near side again, firing it towards the back post. Eliadis and sees that one sail over the bar. So good chance, and it looks like she knew it, but that one just a little too high of the target. Queensland just struggling to get a hold of the ball in this second half. Started much like the first with a spell of pressure early from Victoria. Good strength there from Tanaka up against Horsey. And Queensland just with a bit of space here to try and reset. Find the right pass to build a bit of pressure against Victoria. Clark finding the path of Tormainer, but put out by Checker, who's happy to use her body.
Veteran experience from Checker.
Tormainer does well there, she's forced the throw.
Checker might have been looking for maybe that deflection there to get Victoria the throw in and allow them to play it up the sideline, but nothing doing there.
Ball in towards Hirakawa of Penn Power, but again, Victoria coming away with it. Keely Lockhart, hands on hips, she's put in a good shift so far, and plenty more of the half to go. This is the first of a double header of the State v State, so stick with us. 6:30 p.m. we'll bring coverage on FQTV for the Mitre Festival of Football Men's NPL Clash. But for now, we are very much enjoying seeing the best of Queensland face off against the best of Victoria from the NPL women. Eliadis again just pulling some strings in that midfield. Jess Dillon asserting her authority and winning possession back for Queensland. Clark to Tormainer. Tormainer just trying to do a little too much there. And Markovsky now in space. Legs have slowed a little since the first half, understandably so. She looks for support, and first time ball from Lamont straight into the hands of Adams.
It was a well-worked move there just to get that chance for Lamont, as well as was cut back. Markovski just with the patience to wait for support to come to her, and found the space for the pass in between about 5 Queensland defenders.
Yeah, and Lamont is pretty effective either on the wing or as a centre forward, and we're seeing a little bit of that with the movement from her already in support.
We are as Queenslanders, it's like they're just almost running through like heavy mud at the moment. The fatigue is definitely setting in, and I have to say Victoria almost look a little bit more comfortable in these conditions than the Queenslanders.
Yeah, it's been a big year of football, so there'll be some tired legs out there, but there's some fresh ones on the pitch, and we've just seen one there with Anna Hirakara. Joined Penn Power from Virginia for the 23 season and has some semi-professional experience herself in Japan. So plenty of fresh energy for Queensland to try and capitalise on as they look to close the gap.
Oh, that's looking really good right about now. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I was not going to mention the P word this time. If you see me on the screen for the men's game, you know what's happened.
So Roach coming off and being replaced by Alana Cortellino.
So Roach, 1 goal to her name from the penalty.
Of course, a Queenslander has to score against Queensland.
Of course, you can't write this stuff, can you? And Cortellino is another representative of Bulleen Lions, the 17-year-old, another junior Matilda, and she's just signed her first A-League deal with Western United. It'd be great to see her get a run out. Vince Battiato just giving some instructions. May see a change of formation for Victoria here as Eliadis just twists and turns on that far side and keeps possession.
Eliadis has really been the difference in this second half, especially. She did turn
Given
it over.
away there though, and the through ball. Keeper came, but Queensland still in possession. Another back post, stick a leg out, and it's in. Off a Victoria boot. It was Anna Tormena.
Well, and it'll be Tormena taking credit for it. It might go down as her own goal on the dubious goals panel, but with a quarter of an hour to go, Queensland are back within 1 goal.
Yeah, and it was Lila Itato with a lovely through ball. Hansen here causing a bit of bother for the keeper. And Tormena just with the outside of her boot. But it will go down as an own goal, I would assume, being flicked into the net off a Victoria boot. But a lovely bit of build-up play.
We'll call it a Tormena goal for now.
We will.
Just bring that Queensland bias back into it.
She's in a great position, first time with the outside of her boot, and it was Emma Checker, the Victoria captain.
Oh, we should be set up for a good finish then, Amy.
Yeah, I was just saying we were looking for them to close that gap, and here we have it, 78 minutes gone. Queensland 1, Victoria 2, so we are currently at the scoreline of the 2023 matchup.
That explains the deja vu I was feeling.
But we've got time left on the clock, so Queensland may have a little bit of a pep in their step here with Hansen.
And it was the endeavour of Hansen there, getting onto the end of that through ball to set up that chance on goal, getting there ahead of the Victorian keeper.
Yeah, Hansen is looking lively, the East player. She's been labelled as one of Queensland's best attacking prospects, and we can see why. That one collected confidently by Mason Jones.
And Dave De Silva just watching very, very closely as he's issuing some instructions as he tries to get his side back into it.
Yeah, Hansen on the far side, on the near side, has been causing a bit of bother. Eliadis for Victoria doing the same. And Victoria through ball a little optimistic. Adams will be happy to reset for Queensland. Adams keen to take that one quickly.
Nielsen putting that golf club driver of a right foot to good use.
Lovely takedown there by Tanaka in defence. And the crowd cheering Queensland on to make the comeback. 80 minutes tick over on the clock. Bethany Mathan-Jones, who was just a little indecisive in the build-up to that Queensland goal. Great sliding tackle at the back. Dylan.
It's great to hear the kids in the stands as well, getting behind the concept.
Yeah, plenty of support for the Maroon side.
Which you would hope being played in Brisbane's, what was that, Inner North?
Inner North, Newmarket. Tormena winning a Queensland throw on the far side. 7 league goals for the Olympic attacker. Horsey with a lovely turn of the body to try and face goal. She wins her side a corner.
So if Queensland can get an equaliser, and I'm saying this as much out of optimism as anything, we will be going to a penalty shootout. The men's match last year was decided from the spot, eventually. There's the corner. Oh, that was well taken. Mason-Jones.
Yeah, despite that little bit of indecision for the Queensland goal, Mason-Jones has looked solid, the Essendon Royals keeper. He's played for Melbourne Victory in the A-League. Eliadis again with one of those slicing through balls. Cortolino does very well to get to it. Tanaka. Kendra Smith. And that's going to be a Victoria throw on the near side. We've seen plenty of distribution from Eliadis in that midfield position.
It feels like this is going to be the decisive factor over the next 10 or so minutes. The individual efforts in cases like this to chase down the ball, perhaps from Lockhart, and keep it in.
Yeah, and that one just flicked away by the head of Mackenzie Nielsen. Another of the QAS graduates, Nielsen.
And part of the youth regeneration at Lions now, who, by their standards, had a down year as Rob Askew rebuilt his squad. And they still finished third, made the grand final, made the Kappa Queensland Cup final as well. And for them, that is below the standard they've set as the benchmark club in Queensland over the last 5 or so years. But now it's Brisbane City, and it's next year Gold Coast Knights as well. And East have been in the mix the last couple of seasons as well. Can't forget them.
Never quite know what's going to happen in this game, do we? Queensland now with the throw. They're trying to make their way forward. It's been swinging back in Victoria's favour of possession since the Queensland goal. As Eliadis again with the ball into a dangerous spot, but headed away nicely. And now Queensland with Kyla Hansen with a lovely turn. Manages to keep it, bringing it down on the chest. Can she get a shot off? Kyla Hansen.
Oh.
One touch too many perhaps, and Victoria escaped what is a dangerous spell.
Oh, Hansen, she took on a couple of defenders and the keeper and thought she was going to just walk it into the goal, but could not find a way through. As desperation defending from Victoria as they try to hold on to this lead.
It's a lovely spell of football as we see again. It just rebounded off her own leg and lovely little chest down, and here is where she just got herself into a little bit of trouble. Great defensive work at the back by Victoria.
But that is why Hansen is seen as one of the brightest young prospects in Queensland, and we'll be seeing her on a bigger stage before too long.
And now Victoria come forward on the near side. Lovely ball into the area. Lamont defended well at the back. Nielsen there again. Lamont is causing a little bit of havoc for the Queensland defence since she's come on.
Proverbial thorn in the side for the Queensland team, which is exactly what Vince Battiato would have been hoping for as he brought her on.
I'm not quite sure I want this game to end, James.
No, I actually wouldn't mind a shootout, although, again, that's just the hashtag Queensland bias coming in. Hey, it's Queensland broadcast, so they had theirs last year.
And the number 7's doing battle as Ellie Lamont comes off better. Playing a ball forward, but sea of maroon with Nielsen just playing it out of trouble. Dylan's been pretty consistent in that position throughout the game, Jess Dillon.
It's everything you'd expect from Jess Dillon, just solid, reliable, consistent. Just a metronome that keeps things ticking over, and also able to make a pretty critical tackle as kind of Kachenko lays it over the top for Hansen. Here we go.
And Hansen up against Checker again, causing a bit of bother in attack, and she wins her side the corner.
I'm pretty sure that's her non-preferred left foot as well, Kyla Hansen, so did well to just fashion a chance that earned the set piece. Opportunity for Queensland. Will that be taken quickly? Or no, it'll... Oh.
And Hansen made her NPL debut aged 15, so she has seen a fair bit of football at a high level, and here is the first sign of cramp.
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
And the Queensland players, you'd say, doing the sporting thing, but I think they just want to get on with it.
A little bit of both, I think, but look, I'm not going to judge running around in these conditions after who knows how many games across all competitions for all these players. They're incredibly fit, and I think this may be the end of the run for, is that Lockhart?
Yes. Keely Lockhart, the number 9 Heidelberg forward. Over 50 appearances for her side, so no wonder she's got tired legs over the years.
Well, we're also going to say with the amount of distance she's just covered over the last 87.5 minutes, you have to know the GPS stats on her.
Victoria won't be too unhappy that this is causing a bit of a delay while Queensland are getting set to take a corner. 88 minutes approaching on the clock. We're going to see a little bit of stoppage. It's been a pretty intense second half.
Victoria, number 9, Keely Lockhart, to be replaced by number 5, Michaela Jursic.
And that one going all the way through. And it's going to be another corner. So we've just seen Michaela Jursic come on for Victoria of Essendon Royals. Former Melbourne Knights captain. Corner in. And that one cleared off the line by Victoria. Mason Jones came out to collect, and there is a Queensland equaliser. It was number 19, Beck Horsey. Where did she pop up from?
I'm not entirely sure. Victoria adamant that she was offside, and there is going to be a discussion between Taylor Schofield and her assistant on the far side.
Victoria did stop in their tracks. They were pretty sure that that was offside, so we'll wait and see what this decision is. But it looks to be. It came off. Did it come off Eliadis?
It might have taken a deflection on the way through,
I think
perhaps.
it may have taken a deflection off Eliadis, but either way, the referee is getting them set for a Victoria kickoff. You literally asked for this, James. 2-2.
Chaos. It is everything we wanted, and it looks like we're heading to penalty.
Beck Horsey popping up.
Well, look, it wouldn't be a match without a bit of late controversy, and Victoria still adamant that that would have been...
Lamont having a crack from range. That one's just landed on top of the net. The former Canberra United midfielder, Beck Horsey. Ipswich-born midfielder, popping up with the equaliser in the dying stages of the half. And Victoria with Emma Checker. Four minutes. And Queensland with a free kick.
We couldn't have more late drama here, could we?
Never say never. Queensland with a free kick in the 91st minute. Ball into the area, headed forward, and this time collected safely. It was Beck Horsey again getting on the end of that one, and now Victoria trying to find a way through. Queensland will be wishing they had a fair bit more time on the clock, given the spell of form they're in as we see the clock running down. And this time the free kick will go in the favour of Victoria. Taken quickly, referee happy for them to play on. Markovsky just going down in the challenge there. And a little bit of a limp on that right leg.
Well, it's been a battle for her pretty much all match, Maya Markovsky. She's stood up well in the challenges and made it through. Well, it's been a pretty tough afternoon for her, especially after those subs have left her a little bit isolated up front.
Yeah, there's plenty of kilometres in the tank for these players. As now Queensland come forward with a lovely through ball. It's Hanson again. Can she seal the deal? There is the whistle for offside.
And I'm sure our microphones didn't pick it up from the sideline, but I think there may have been a few of the Victorians going, oh, now the offside flag goes up.
They'll be scrutinising the replay footage later on.
I've just been looking at it from our commentary position here, and if there was a deflection, it was the faintest of touches.
Headed forward nicely from Markovsky, and Victoria will be hoping to capitalise on this attack. Lovely throw in from Eliadis. Markovsky on the end of it, but it's Nielsen coming across to clear the lines. So Victoria now with a late corner in the last minute of added time. I did say I didn't want this game to end.
Asking you shall receive.
Not sure how I feel about penalties. That is looking like that's where we're going, unless Victoria can prove us wrong here from this corner. Played deep. Eliadis, was it Eliadis rising? And
look, you would have been pretty stone-hearted to deny Eliadis what would have been the winning goal after her efforts today. She's been the standout for Victoria for me, the number 14. For Queensland, it's hard to go past a couple of the East defenders, Clark or my player of the season for the NPL Queensland, Hakana Kachenko.
yeah, Eliadis has done everything but score. So we see Ellie Lamont with a lovely through ball, but again, these stages of the game, tired legs and a little bit too much on that pass. Referee with a little look at her watch.
Well, this isn't the first time an interstate all-star NPL match has gone to penalties. We'll have it again, just like it was in 2020 between Queensland and New South Wales.
And there is the final whistle. Dave De Silva already with his notebook in hand.
Probably wondering, can I try and get Riding or Latham back on, perhaps?
2-2, some late drama here in the state v state battle. Queensland running over to the sideline, so they've still got some energy in those legs, James.
It's amazing what a late goal will do for those energy levels.
No doubt we'll be wanting a chat with their skipper Latham and goal scoring prowess of Tegan Riding. Some tips for the shootout.
Well, I'm just looking at potential penalty takers for Queensland as well. Kyla Hansen stepped up as an obvious candidate, as well as Mackenzie Nielsen, who scored a huge penalty in a 5-4 win, 4 lines over Souths not that long ago. It was the 90th minute penalty or something. It was a wild game, and she stepped up big at the end. Anna Hirakara as well, and we also have the experienced options as well. Malgary, Kachenko, Dylan, Horsey. So plenty of options in the Queensland side. I'm not going to pretend like I'm entirely familiar with the Victorian roster of penalty takers, but I feel like Markovsky, Eliadis will be two of the leading contenders to take the attempts from the spot.
I'd be very surprised not to see Ellie Lamont step up as well, having scored 13 league goals in her NPL season, but we will see. It's not always a good idea for us to predict these things.
Look, all I'm going to predict is that there will be a shootout and there will be attempts from both teams.
That's a safe prediction, I think.
I won't guess how many, because it could be 3-0 one way or the other with the way tonight has gone. As Checker, she wants to get this going as quickly as possible.
And Vince Barriado and David De Silva, both supported by their assistant coaches, Adam Somino for Victoria and Lachlan Long for Queensland. No doubt they will have prepared for this, and did see David De Silva barking orders pretty instantly when the game came to an end.
Cameo appearance as well from Kyla Hansen. She was immense, just adding that spark that had been missing for Queensland in the second half. And now just some words of encouragement. You can see captains do their pre-shootout duties as De Silva opting to leave this team talk to his players.
And there is the Jones-Millman Cup on the line, obviously state pride. The Jones-Millman Cup named after Teresa Diaz-Nate-Jones, representing Victoria at 16 Australian National Championships, and an outstanding goalkeeper for club, state and country. And Joanne Milburn is the Queensland representative, 15 national championships between 1979 and 1993, playing her entire 350 match club career with Easts. So a one-club player, the sweeper.
There we go. All right, now, Amy, I am going to have to tell you a little bit about something I'm quite particular about when it comes to penalties.
Here we go.
There is a difference between a penalty saved and a penalty missed.
Absolutely.
Give the keepers credit when they make the save.
Absolutely.
It's not a penalty missed, it's a penalty save.
I am absolutely in agreement there. There's no arguments from me.
Oh, that's good. It's a change of pace from what I'm used to normally.
I'm going to note that down and bookmark that for future. Yes, having watched plenty of penalty shootouts.
Oh, what a shot with the sunset, though, over that western goal here at Imperial Corp Stadium.
Penalty shootouts are a sore point for people from England, you know, so...
I wasn't
penalties missed is something we're quite familiar with.
I got to do an England penalty shootout win at the World Cup.
We did see some cracking football at the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Asian Cup will be the next big competition for the women on home soil.
And we are going to be down the canteen end of Imperial Corp Stadium.
We don't want you too far from your pizza oven, James.
Not at all. Got to work out how to get one of those at home. Well, that order will have to wait.
We see Queensland already set in the centre circle, and Victoria getting ready. The keepers just with a friendly fist pump there. Layla Adams, what a cracking half she had, and now she's got a penalty shootout.
I always feel so much more relief when the keepers are actually the most relaxed people on the pitch going into a shootout as well, because they're the ones that actually have the most to do here. I mean, assuming it goes the distance, they've got to make 5 saves, or try to make 5 saves as well. So they have the biggest say in how this shootout is going to unfold. And I'm just looking at the Queensland bench as well, down in the foreground, and I wonder how many of those players are thinking, I really wish I was out there right now.
I think there's definitely 2 names in the Queensland side that I would think would be wanting to step up.
Queensland to shoot first.
So Bethany Mason-Jones getting herself set. It's going to be Chantel Mowgary. So we've got Mowgary of Easts stepping up for the first penalty. It's just suddenly gone quiet in the stands. It's going to be a lefty by the looks of it.
You had to say it.
Just, yeah, I'll be quiet. Cracking right foot shot. Correction. And she fired that one toward the roof of the goal. Look at how cool and calm she looks as she walks back to her teammates.
Well, never in doubt from Mowgary, and it just rattled off the underside of the crossbar.
Making me look silly in the process, which we always enjoy. And Eliadis.
Of course, she will be going first, the reliable presence, the star player for Victoria. Plenty of experience as well.
And a cracking save from Layla Adams. The youngster has stamped her mark on the game. It's a cracking shot of the Victorian players with the sunset in the background. Anna Hirakara, one of the subs, James.
Not wasting any time either. She was in the 18-yard box before the ball had come to a stop.
And a gentle approach from the Penn power player, but into the net it goes. A big smile on her face.
Well, we did mention the last time Queensland was involved in a NPL All-Star shootout in the women's game, and it was a young keeper that evening at Perry Park. Bella Shuttleworth coming through for Queensland, and Layla Adams now getting the chance to do the same.
Saving a penalty, but then also saving it against Eliadis, who's had a cracker, give her some confidence. Markovsky just doing a few kick-ups as she approaches the penalty spot. So the star striker for Victoria and Bulleen Lions is the second penalty taker for Victoria. And slots it home, cool as you like. Maya Markovsky.
Dependable as ever from the spot. Just waited for Adams to make her move. Adams was saying, go to my right. And Markovsky said, no, I'm going to my right instead. It's Tormena now for Queensland.
Tormena just having a little look at that goal area. And a lovely little chip into the right side of the goal.
You might be underselling how much power she had on that one. That one definitely looked like it was travelling.
It's good technique. It's a sign of great confidence. She's made quite an impression in that second half, and then cracking penalty. And the skipper, Checker. Penalty taker number 3.
Shootout, it went 10 rounds, so I'm not ruling anything out.
Layla Adams, trademark moves. And Layla Adams, once again, with a smile on her face. What a save.
That is 2 saves now from 3 attempts for Layla Adams. The young keeper coming up massive for Queensland, and it looks like Checker was, again, just waiting for Adams to dive one way or the other, and Adams this time held her nerve.
Tato to step up and try to seal the deal for Queensland.
Just
and that one is fired wide from the youngster. She's trying to keep the drama building for us here at Imperial Corp Stadium.
Well, she did. It was hit with conviction, perhaps a little too much conviction, as blasted by the post. But Queensland, they do have that margin for error, although it is gone now. And it will be on Adams to see if she can come up big again.
Adams giving her a bit of a hand, telling her where to put it. Ellie Lamont, no doubt, has her own ideas and goes down the middle. Layla Adams giving her a little applause, appreciating the penalty. Love to see it.
Sometimes that's all you can do in those situations as well. Just waiting for space to open up. And it is Mackenzie Nielsen, of course, to take this one.
And Nielsen.
She'll hit this with power.
And that one, Mason Jones does get her hands to, but Nielsen still sees that one sail into the back of the net. She didn't seem so sure, but there is the celebration. Queensland, who have a late fight back in this Battle of the States, can dance with jubilation as they've just taken out the Jones Millman Cup in style.
Yeah, dramatic fashion, as you would expect from a football team in Queensland, winning on penalties. And Nielsen, she just hit that with such conviction. Mason Jones went the right way, got a hand to it, but the ball was just travelling with such pace. There was nothing she could do about it. But how about that composure from the young defender?
And how about that composure from Layla Adams?
Two saves.
What a half in football.
Well, it was Bella Shuttleworth in 2020 against New South Wales, Layla Adams in 2024 against Victoria. The young keepers are pretty good in Queensland.
Yeah, and what an opportunity for any youngster to get a chance to represent their state. And here they have put on a show for us. Victoria they came out firing in both halves. It's been a pretty intense second half of football and just quality football all across the park.
It certainly was. Queensland, they had to fight back. They found themselves very much behind the 8 ball early on, but it was a phenomenally competitive game of football in the end, and it's all ending with handshakes. It was a fun game, and that's exactly what you want from these fixtures.
It was an excellent game of football. We saw plenty of the substitutes stepping up to take penalties at the end as well. Of course, Steph Latham, Tegan Ryden could only watch on, having been replaced. We have got plenty to recap, so let's have a look at some of those second half highlights.
Feels like an eternity ago when it was Maya Markowski.
It was still daylight.
Opening the scoring with this clever, cheeky chip from the edge of the 6-yard box. Emma Gibbon, no chance.
I could see that on repeat all day. Eliadis, who you said she was the standout for Victoria. I couldn't agree more. Lovely through ball under pressure. Queensland with their fair share of chances, but couldn't quite find the target in the first half. Victoria just with some great control in the middle of the park and trying to slice through the Queensland defence.
They had their chances, and this was Layla Adams so calm on the ball as she was called on to make a number of saves, but she was well shielded by her teammates as well in defence.
Yeah, got to give a big shout out to Holly Clark, who had an outstanding game in the back line for Easts. There is Holly Clark, and here is the penalty. Roach slotting that one home.
Might have actually been the best one of the match. It was top corner, second chances.
And Ellie Lamont looking lively as she came on. Eliadis, like we said, did everything but score. I didn't think that was going to translate into the shootout as well, but take nothing away from Tiffany Eliadis. Ellie Lamont again with a chance there.
And this
Saved.
double save here from Adams was huge in terms of keeping Queensland in the match.
Markovski trying to turn provider there, finding Ellie Lamont.
Carla Hansen, massive build-up as Hansen Jones claiming that corner.
Lovely turn here, and this is Hansen, the chance. We thought she was trying to walk it into the net. She was just crowded out there at the back. Good defence.
Thought about going down for the penalty there for half a second as well, but I'm not sure that would have been given.
We didn't need any more penalties this game, did we? Great control on the chest from Hansen. She was a joy to watch as she joined proceedings.
Hansen again just causing havoc, trying to work around Checker.
Saw a flurry of set pieces towards the back end. That was a
Where is that?
little bit of a chaotic bustle at the back, and there it was, the goal. Everyone kind of stood still to see, was the flag up, was it not? But Beck Horsey was happy to just crack on with celebrating.
Yeah, Victoria Adam Horsey was offside. I'm not sure if it took a touch on the way through off that replay. I think I could watch it 100 times and come up with about 47 different interpretations of it, but Victoria adamant that it should have been offside. Anyway, that was the equaliser. Now the shootout. It was Malgary.
Eliadis, we said she's done everything but score, and Lil Adams, we've got to give her massive credit for the game. Well, James, it was a cracker of a game. The men's game is still to come, but this one I could watch over and over.
And we're going through the shootout now. Hirakawa just calm along the ground, rolling it in. Markovski, as you would expect, no mistake. Adams trying to play the mind games of this shootout, but
Anna Tomena, she was troublesome as she came on, and she had a quality kick there. Ellie Lamont wasn't put off by Adams.
straight down the middle.
I do enjoy Adams giving her a little applause. And then here is Mackenzie Nielsen, a little bit of a crack in the neck as she composes herself and puts the final nail in the coffin. Queensland take away the spoils at this Mitre Festival of Football. It's been a pleasure, it's been a cracker, and there's more to come on FQTV. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Before we get into the trophy presentation, we do have the player of the match medal, which will be presented by our state technical director, Paul Ganser. The player of the match from Queensland, Layla Adams. Right.